Hey, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. So we can get started on this review of Married to Medicine. I want to thank you for tuning in. And I hope everybody got a chance to find my other, kind of like sister group to my YouTube channel. It's on Facebook. It's called Primetime Drama TV of Color Media and Celebrity News. That is like the sister group to this YouTube channel. So make sure you go to Facebook and look up Primetime Drama TV of Color Media and Celebrity News. In that group, we discuss all kind of TV shows, celebrities, trending celebrity news, reality shows, all that and the third. So make sure you click to request to join that group. And as well, make sure you also in the chat, I have the link to my cake decorating page because I am a cake decorator. And you can check that out, Tanya's Delights Slice by Slice on Facebook. And all the people in my local area know that if you subscribe to this channel, this YouTube channel, and the Facebook page, Tanya's Delights Slice by Slice, you can enter every month on the first of the month to win a free cake made by me. And a few days ago, I did post a winner from this month, and I also posted a picture of the cake that she chose that she wanted to win. So, anywho, make sure you check out those. I'm also on Twitter, Tanya's Primetime TV /media reviews on Twitter, and on Instagram, Tanya Cake Lady, TANYA CAKELADY, all one word. So make sure you check out those other social media sites for me. And again, don't forget to join our Facebook group, which is like a sister group to this YouTube channel. And I have the phone number listed, 641-715-08272, PIN number 434-478. If you want to call in and speak to me about the show, give your comments or thoughts on the show or whatnot, or the cast period, just hit me up in the chat. Tanya, please turn on the phone lines. And I'll turn on the phone lines because I do not leave it turned on with my cell phone running because my battery goes down and also the speaker battery goes down. So again, if you want to chop it up with me on the phone lines, just let me know to turn on the phone lines. But anyway, let's get right into this episode of Married to Medicine. Now, first thing first, I want to know why? Heavenly, this girl, sometimes she gets me really, really upset because she don't know how to be quiet sometimes. Sometimes she just don't know how to shut up. She don't know how to zip those lips up and listen sometimes. I mean, as far as her therapy goes, I really wish that I could be a fly on the wall because I don't know what all her therapist is telling her, but as far as dealing with her anger issues and how to get over her anger issues, but it's not working. And we see it episode after episode that it's not working. And then on top of that, whenever she gets angry, like how many times does people got to tell her, quit saying your mama? Like that is so childish. That is so childish and immature. I mean, that should have went out. If you are grown up, especially over the age of 30 or 40 years old, that should have been went out for you back in like 6th, 7th grade talking about your mama jokes. But anywho, she's still talking about your mama jokes when she was arguing with Quad and them last night. Well, not last night, but the last episode. And her and Mariah had got into it, and there you hear it again. Mama, mama, mama. And Mariah was like, where's your mama? Go find your mama. And I'm like, come on. Heavenly, I mean, do y'all know grown-ups that still do that? Like, your mama? Like, for real? I don't get it. Hey, Sam, how you doing, honey? How you doing? I'm supposed to hook up with you later because we're supposed to go walk and ride. Don't stand me up and leave me. I'll be ready as soon as I'm done with this review. But anywho, thanks for tuning in, Sam. But anywho, Mariah, and as far as Mariah, okay, Mariah has said episode after episode that she has receipts as far as alleged allegations that Heavenly's husband is cheating on her. And I'm like, where are these receipts? Can you prove this? She tells, them she got receipts, she got invoices. And I'm like, where is the receipts? Or is she trying to do what Jen did in Basketball Wives? She had receipts all season long, kept claiming she had receipts, but did not pull out nan receipt all season long, even up until the last finale, and then didn't show up, for the reunion. So is she trying to do that? Is she trying to just make Mariah mad because Mariah keeps pissing her off? So she just figures this is a low blow that I'll take to piss her off, make her feel just as bad as me? Or does she really have receipts? I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out soon. But she had me cracking up when they were sitting around after they had finished arguing and talking about your mama and all this kind of stuff. Mariah was like, and your house nasty. And I'm like, her house nasty? Okay, we talking about a dentist here. And but every clip that they showed, like the house, every time I see her house, all these ladies have beautiful homes. Beautiful homes. But every time they show Heavenly's house, I'm like, this house is just massive. It's big. It's beautiful. And I'm like, but it's nasty? And then she was like, it's so nasty that you need to have it. She said it's contaminated and she needs to have it power washed. And I'm like, man, the shade. And in the green room, Simone was cracking up. I was hollering right with Simone. I was cracking up. Like, what you mean? Her house is nasty. I don't know if it has something to do with maybe she dropped them. Remember last episode when she dropped them crabs on the ground? And Simone came over and she was like, why is our food crawling around on the ground? I don't know. I don't know if her house is nasty. It didn't look nasty to me, but we wasn't there. We wasn't there. But anyway, Heavenly, she's trying to get Quad to open up again. But Quad had told them last episode that, the ladies aren't really acting sisterly to her, and that's why she hasn't really opened up to them. And of course, Heavenly, she got offended because, she's like, but we are your sisters. How can you say that? Don't do that. Heavenly was going, oh. And I'm like, but every time Quad tells her how she feels, Heavenly is the main one with her mouth, blah, 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 just running a mile a minute. And I'm like, sometimes she just needs to be quiet. Just be quiet. And Quad had told them, you know what? In order for me to open up to you ladies, I need to feel like I'm in a safe environment because what she's going through is really personal and she's still hurting and she don't quite know how to handle it and get through with it. But Heavenly just kept going on and on and on, going and on, getting louder and louder and louder. And that's when I was like, man, just shut up. Heavenly, just shut up, because it's too many times that this girl do not be acting heavenly. I won't say what she be acting like, but it ain't quite heavenly. But anyhow, Quad, when she was sitting around talking after all that sisterly talk and stuff, Quad was sitting down surrounded by the ladies and she had broke down. She was crying. And I'm like, okay, I understand where she's coming from when she was like, sometimes it's just really, really, really hard to get out of bed each morning and wake up and be happy. I mean, when you're going through something as serious as that, you have to wake up, you have to take on the world, you have to go to work, deal with the public, all this, and you have to put on this facade like this. You got to be poker face up, like for real, to get through the day and pretend like you are really in a happy place when you might be feeling miserable and depressed. So, Quad tells him this, and I'm like, at least, she has her new friends from the Sister Circle show because she feels like they are being more sisterly to her and less judgmental to her. And so I'm glad, she has them as well, because the MCM crew, Married to Medicine, they don't be really acting, too sisterly all the time and are very judgmental, especially Heavenly. But as she's explaining this, I'm glad Simone was kind of like showing some empathy, because Simone and Cecil, they were on the verge of divorce last season. They talked it out, went to therapy, discussed it among themselves, their children, their friends, and they decided to fight for their marriage. So I'm glad Simone, is showing some empathy. She's hugging her, she's, giving her nice, kind words. And then she also tells her, you know what? I'm there for you. Whatever you're going through in your marriage, I'm there for you. You can always, talk to me. And I'm like, while she's up there talking and Claude is crying and wiping her tears, and Heavenly says, so why do you stay in a situation that isn't good for you? Why? I mean, for real? And then the look on her face is like her face is all snarled up, waiting on an answer. And Quad is like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, that's not a look of concern. That is a look of what the hell is wrong with you, aka judgmental. And you wonder why Quad doesn't want to open up to Heavenly. But she was like, you asking me why, but you don't even know what I'm doing. You just making assumptions because she won't let her, you know, get her feelings out. Heavenly is just always doing all the talking and interrupting and not letting Quad talk. And I'm like, you know what? Heavenly would be the last person I would run to for a shoulder to lean on, because she's one of those people who will push you off her shoulder and condemn you all in the same breath. But anywho, I do like how Simone said, Quad, you know what? You can always call me on my mess, because nobody's perfect. So she's like, you can always call me on my mess, because that's what friends do. So if you see me and you call me out on some mess, and when you see it. But as far as friends go, and that goes for any friendship, you can't just pull it up, push it off on the shelf, and then pull it out when you ready to, kick it or hang with them again. You can't just do that to people. And Quad understands that, and she apologized, for making them feel like, she doesn't need them, or they're not her friends, or, pushing them to the side. So, it seemed like everything is going to be okay with Quad, as long as they keep, being there for her in a heavenly way. Not so heavenly, though. Get it? And so then later on, we see Mariah. She goes to visit Toya. Toya also has a beautiful home. I love her house too. And they're discussing what happened, the previous evening at the crab. I was about to say fish fry. At the Crab Royal. And Mariah's expressing how Heavenly is always coming at her, always throwing jags at her, just dissing her, talking about her mama. And she's tired of her talking about her mama, for one, because again, that's very immature. And as a grown person, you shouldn't even stoop to that level talking about somebody's parents. But anyway, and then I'm like, I got kind of confused and kind of lost when she then told Toya that she thinks she needs to get Contessa. They need to get somewhere, sit down and talk. And she needs to tell Contessa how she really feels about, Toya is still, I don't know why. I don't know why. But Toya claims she's hurt, still over the fact that Contessa didn't come to her party. Or call her and tell her she couldn't come to her party. But I'm like, Toya, okay, anywho, yeah, I'll do that. But what's up with them receipts? Like, do you have receipts? Is this hearsay, or do you have concrete evidence? And Mariah's like, well, what if they were receipts? And of course, Toya's like, well, if you don't have receipts, and if it was just hearsay, then why are you bringing it up? I don't understand. And again, I hope she's not doing the same thing Jen did to us, which is becoming a habitual liar. Please don't do that, Mariah. Either you got receipts or you don't have receipts. If it's not true, say it's not true. You just got mad. You just blurted out some mess, and that you shouldn't have. That's all. That's all I'm saying. But then when they got on the subject of Contessa, I was just like, you know what? Here we go again. I don't know why. Still don't know why she feels Contessa was wrong. Her father was sick. He was ill. She was trying to get him, to her home so he could spend some time with her and his grandkids. I mean, he has prostate cancer. He has a whole lot of other things wrong with him. And if Toya don't understand that, I'm sorry. I wouldn't be apologizing at all. But anyway, Mariah, she agrees, and I'm like, what y'all smoking? That's all I want to know. What y'all smoking? But anyway, regarding Contessa, her father, again, he was sick and he came to visit her and her kids and her husband. And it's time for him to go back home. And she made him promise to her that he will keep her in the loop, everything that's going on with his cancer and his other illnesses and everything, and not, keep it hidden from her like he did before, because she had no idea he was as sick as he was, which I said in my last review of last episode. I went through that with my mom, and I know other people had commented on the live that they went through it with their parents too. So if you're sick, especially if it's something serious, let somebody know. You should not have to suffer alone. You should not have to be in pain alone. It's just not fair to other people either, especially when they could have spent so much time with you before you got deathly ill, or So anyway, he promised that to her, that he would do that for her. And also when he goes to his appointments, he will have the doctor call her and let her know, specifically doctor to doctor, what's going on with your dad and all that and whatnot. And so then, although he wasn't there for her when she was growing up, she makes him also promise one last thing, and that's to be with her when she goes through her procedure, because she's going to have a mastectomy. And she's doing this because she doesn't want her children to suffer the way that she suffered, or go through what she went through when her mom was alive. And her mom had gotten ill and she had passed away from breast cancer. So she doesn't want her children, or I guess her husband either, to go through that as well. And he says he'll be there. He wasn't there for her. He said he wasn't there for her mother as well. So he's definitely going to be there for her. But I want to know, how do y'all feel about that? About getting your breasts as females, and males. I mean, males, men, they can get breast cancer too. So, breast cancer can hit both sexes. But how do y'all feel about getting y'all breasts removed before you even are diagnosed with having breast cancer? Like, I don't know, but is that something that doctors recommend nowadays, or suggest if you have somebody else in your family close to you that has had breast cancer? I'm just wondering, because this has to be something very difficult, a very hard decision for any woman or any man to make. I mean, men probably less, because we as women, our breasts are like, besides our other area, our breast is like the main thing that makes us a woman, or makes us feel like a woman. So let me know how y'all feel about that, or if you've had personal experience with that, or someone close to you. So let me know. Hit me up in the chat. And now, Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie, last year she had through an event called the Fit Me event. And this will make the second year. So she's preparing for that, for the second annual event. And of course, she's going to invite all the ladies and their husbands, but mainly all the ladies, because she's hoping that she can get all these ladies back on the right track, back on one accord, to having fun and enjoying being around each other. Because as we see, things are really crazy right now with some of the friendships in this circle. And then we have Heavenly going to see her therapist, Dr. K, for some much needed anger management again. And I wonder, how long has she been seeing this therapist? Because again, it doesn't seem to be working. And remember last episode when Dr. K, he told her, Honesty without compassion is brutality. And she sat there and she nodded her head and she was like, I'm in agreement with you, doctor. That is true. Well, she obviously didn't quite understand it correctly or that concept, because when she was talking to Claude, she definitely was not coming off as compassionate towards Quad, but actually coming off more brutal, which is what the doctor just explained to her on her last visit. And then she goes into explaining how her and Mariah had got into it, and her Mariah had told her that she has receipts because she's alleging that her husband is cheating on her, and she has receipts. And so she tells the doctor, and I told that bitch. She was like, let me say it in her words. She was like, what she actually said was, that bitch said my husband was cheating on me, and I told that dirty bitch to get the hell out of my house. That's exactly what she told the doctor. And the doctor is sitting there looking like he just wants to burst out laughing. And I'm thinking, I know he's thinking like, she ain't learned nothing yet. Nothing. She ain't learned absolutely nothing yet. But I'm going to keep on taking her coins, though. I can see him saying that in the back of his mind. Like, I'm going to keep on taking her coins, though. I'm going to make her come every week. Every week. And then she's like, but doctor, you know how she talks, but doctor, isn't that what you have done? And he's like, sure, if I was practicing, low emotional intelligence. And then it's like her face was like, okay, cracked. Because he's telling the truth. You are, in so many words, he's saying you're immature. You act like a kid when you get into altercations, with other grown people, instead of acting like the educated person that you are, who is married and has her own dental practice and have children. But instead, she likes to throw your mama jokes around. Go figure. But then he's talking to her, and in the process of the therapy appointment or whatnot, he's asking her about some things about her past growing up, and he recommends that maybe she might have to return home to where she's from, to Miami, and handle some things that was probably, swept under the rug per se. And she's considering it, she really don't want to go back to Miami. But he thinks that, what, because of your behavior and how you continue to go down the same road that you going down, regardless of how many times he sees her and regardless of how many times he takes her coins from her, nothing is working. So I'm thinking that maybe next episode they might show her actually going back home. And then finally, we're at the Fitney event, and the ladies and the hubbies are there, and everybody's having a great time. They are using a lot of teamwork and a lot of listening skills, exactly what Jackie wanted them to do. And although most of them weren't quite happy with who she paired them up with, they were like, you know what, we're going to suck it up, and we're going to have fun, at least for one day. And that's exactly what they did. And I must say, I was quite surprised when Contessa, I was really, really surprised when Contessa approached Toya and was like, can I talk to you? I just want to holler at you for a minute before we start this next event. And she's explained to her, everything that she was going through with her father and how frustrating it was and how she was angry to learn that her father is more sick than he was letting on. And she basically tells her, what, I was putting some of that anger and frustration on you without considering your feelings, and I want to apologize. And I'm sitting there like, am I hearing this right? Am I seeing this right? Okay, she apologized. Although I don't think she was supposed to apologize. But then I'm expecting, okay, she then gave this grand apology and Toya's going to come back with an even bigger apology. But instead, Toya is like, you know what? Everybody can apologize, but this is just not the right place, the right time to bring up this discussion. And she doesn't even apologize for her behavior, for calling her out and disrespecting her, and basically her father's sickness, and, putting her on blast in front of everybody at the party and then slamming the phone in her face. She didn't feel like she had to apologize, but instead, this is the wrong place to be having this conversation. I was like, okay, I'm done. And that's exactly why I said, Contessa, I still believe to this day that she was not wrong, because when my mother was sick and was on hospice and all that stuff from cancer, I wish somebody would go off on me because I didn't call them to say I couldn't come to their party, their birthday, their children's party. I don't give a doggone if it was anniversary. I don't care. Those last few moments that you have with your parent is priceless when they are passing, and I'm not giving it up for nobody's party. Anyway, so, after the fitness event was over, Contessa and Quad, they're sitting around and they're having a little girl talk. And I like how Quad answered Contessa when she said, how do you feel, or does this bother you or make you feel some type of way when you are hanging out with the couples? Everybody else is there with their hubbies, the wives and husbands and whatnot. And on the other end, her and her husband are separated, living in separate houses, going through a divorce, a very, very public divorce. And Quad was like, you know what? It really doesn't bother her because, for one thing, she doesn't judge her marriage and then compare it with everyone else's. But who does do that? I'll give you one hint. She pulls teeth. That's who does do that. Heavenly is always, always, always comparing other people to her marriage and her life and her husband and her children and, so forth and so forth. She is just so very judgmental. Again, the therapy is not working. But anyway, that's exactly what she was trying to do with Quad. She kept trying to pull her teeth, and make her open up, to talk to them and express what's going on with her. And she was trying to pull her teeth, but Quad was like, you know what? I can't open up to you unless I feel comfortable. And I heard that Heavenly's a very good dentist, but for some reason, I'm not willing to sit in her chair. Not at all. Nope. Not until she get rid of them anger issues. She better pull out all my teeth. I like the wisdom teeth is already gone. Some more than grew back. But anywho, Toya, she invites Contessa out to dinner, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, that's cool. She invited her to dinner. She's going to apologize to her, give her the apology that Contessa does deserve. And I'm thinking, oh, this should be good. This should be good. But Contessa gets there and she's like, thank you for inviting me, some pleasantries. They sit down and everything. And Toya brings up the fact that she feels like Contessa is not valuing their friendship in so many words, and telling her that she thought they was cool, but last year when they threw the party, remember Toya and her husband, they were in debt. They owed so much money to the IRS because they weren't paying their taxes. And her husband had to work like I think he had like 3 jobs, something like that, 2 or 3 jobs. And he was working like around the clock every day. She barely seen him. I mean, he was literally probably only home maybe 6 hours a day because he was working double, triple shifts to pay off those debts while Toya was at home being a housewife. Nothing wrong with that. No shade there. But catch this. She said that she was still upset because last year when they threw the big grand party to celebrate them being out the black or being in the black or however you say it, and they paying off all the IRS and everything. When Contessa was joking around, well, I took it as a joke. I guess Toya took it as throwing jabs at her, but I took it as a joke when Contessa was like, how y'all was in all this financial debt Y'all paid all your bills off, and now y'all having a party, spending. It looked like they maybe spent like 25,000 at least on a party that was thrown to celebrate them getting out of debt. Do you see the irony in that? Contessa did. And I did too. It's like, okay, I remember once upon a time, everybody, when they're young, they go to college, they get credit cards, they get in debt. I mean, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people. And you have all these credit card bills, and then you have to work hard to pay off them credit card bills. Because when you're in college, they do it to my son, and everyone that come in the mail, I'll be like, throw it away. I got you one major card when you first went to college. He graduates next year, and that's the same card he still has now. You don't need that debt, because when it's time for you to get up and out of my joint, I want to make sure you can pay your first and last month rent. You can pay your utility deposits. Your credit is good. You can move wherever you want to and not in the projects or somewhere else where, what I'm saying. But anywho, I didn't go back out after I paid all the debts and bought like $20,000-$30,000 of stuff. So that's what Contessa was getting at. And so Contessa like, you know what? You was dragging this out. I think you're making this much bigger than it's supposed to be. I thought she was bringing her there to apologize, but instead she brings her there to let her know how she feels like she's not being a good friend to her. And she's upset because of something she said like a year ago about their darn party. And I'm like, you know what? Y'all did mismanage your money. A lot of people do it, so it was nothing big there. Y'all in a one income home, y'all had gotten into debt, now you debt free, and she was just joking. Just joking. Get over it. And just handle your obligations from now on. But anywho, she was making it bigger than it was, and Contessa got tired of it. She didn't come there for that. She thought it was gonna be a nice dinner. They talk, discuss, put it on the table. She still has not, Toya still has not even acknowledged the fact that her father is sick. No, how's your dad? How's your dad doing? What's the doctor say? Is he going to come back? Do you know how much time he has left? Is there some procedures they can make to make the cancer go away? I mean, none of that, but they're supposed to be your friend. And when she gets up to walk away, what does she call her? Bitch, bye. Contessa, if I was you, I'd tell her to kiss my brown butt. And bye, Felicia. But anyway, I still think Toya is wrong all day, every day, and she owes her an apology, a big apology, because she's acting very immature about this situation. So anyway, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this episode. Let me know what y'all think about several things, like how Mariah is siding with Toya. Why? I don't know why, because I still feel Contessa did nothing wrong. Her father was sick. End of story. End of story. And how you feel about Mariah and these receipts? Do you think Mariah has receipts? She still hasn't produced any. And she says she has receipts, she has invoices, but hasn't produced anything. And Heavenly even asked her again at the crab boil on this episode, where's the receipts? You have no proof. Basically, she called her a liar. I don't know what to think about that. I actually want to go with the fact that she's probably just, throwing jabs at her, just trying to get back at her because she's just tired of her picking at her. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that and put it all in the chat. And make sure, if you didn't like this video on the way in, make sure you like it on the way out. Click the like button, please. Show your girl some love. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And please share the video. Share the video on your social media, on Twitter, on wherever, Facebook, whatever you're on. Share the video. And also, don't forget, we have a sister group to this YouTube channel. It's called Primetime Drama TV of Color, and it's on Facebook. Go over there, click join group, I will accept you, or one of the other admins will accept you. And also, don't forget to check out my Tanya's Delights Slice by Slice Facebook page. Also, go over there and click that like button as well. And if you're in my local area and like the YouTube channel, I'm sorry, like the Facebook page and subscribe to my YouTube channel, again, on the first of every single month, you can enter to win a free cake made by me. I am a professional personal cake decorator. So check me out over there on Facebook. Look at all my cake work. And give me some feedback if you want to, or let me know, if you have any questions about any cakes, anything. I do parties, I do weddings, I do baby showers. I just did an engagement party, and 1, 2, 3, 4 birthdays and engagement party order that I had just this weekend. So I was really, really, really busy this weekend. That's why I still owe y'all like another review. I have to still do a review on Insecure, and I'll probably finish that one this evening, and probably come back this evening around 8 or 9 p.m. tonight with a review of Insecure. Insecure. That Issa. I love me some Issa. So if you have not watched the latest episode of Insecure, make sure you watch that, because I will be doing a review tonight. And that way you can be up on the up and up, and can, chat it up with me in the chat. Tell me what you think about the episode. So again, like, subscribe, share, please, and thank you. And until we meet again, in the meantime and in between time, Prime Time Squad, make sure you stay safe, be blessed, and